Welcome to the HGX Pro boosting turf and ornamentals with less fertilizers and inputs. We're gonna kind of take a different approach to this today, and we're going to touch on the labels, and I'll kind of get into that. But it should be a very informative webinar for you guys. All right, I am Brian Marr. I am the Vice President of Turf and Ornamental here at Holganix. I've been with Holganix for just over 8 years, almost 9 years now. I've been in and around the landscape industries for well over 25 years. That probably has to be updated. Managed, owned, and consulted in all aspects of landscaping, hardscaping, installs, and maintenance. Continuing to run, oversee this business, this side of the turf and ornamental at Holganix, and basically advising new clients, helping clients with programs, come up with solutions, and help build their companies and make it successful for everyone. And always looking for new growth opportunities, whether it's within our organization or your organization. Basically just trying to make it a win-win for everyone involved. Today's agenda, we're going to kind of dive into what are probiotics. A lot, you know, it's a question that I get asked a lot. You know, what are probiotics, and what are the ingredients, the product formulations, what does the label mean? It's a recurring question that we get quite often. And so I figured I would, like I said, change up the pace a little bit and take this a different direction, to get some more clarification and understanding around, you know, what makes Holganix a, the standalone from other products that are out there. It's going to help understand compatibility, storage, and then we're also going to touch on prebiotics and the role that they play in conjunction with probiotics and the soil and the health and kind of that whole soil food web that we talk about, you know, quite often, or at least I do. One of my favorite slides is, if some people do not know, it's not on this presentation, but we're going to go over application types, rates, compatibility, and storage on those products as well. At the end, we're going to have some Q&A. That's what I was trying to get some focus on. So hopefully that will be available to me at the end of the presentation. If not, you're more than welcome to email me. My information will be at the end of the presentation, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So probiotics. What are probiotics? Probiotics are living microorganisms. They consist of bacteria and fungi. There's a lot of other things that are in probiotics. The main are bacteria and fungi. That's what Holganix Bio 800, the HGX Pro, is under the new label. HGX Pro is Bio 800 Plus. The Bio 800 Plus is going, just essentially we have 800 plus beneficial bacteria. We're always going to be at that 800. Probiotics, they play a very significant role in promoting plant health, plant growth, and soil health. The roles that they play is they're constantly, each one has a role, and we'll touch on a few. We can't obviously be an 800 plus, you know, beneficial bacteria, usually around 2,000 or so. We're not going to be able to dive like super deep into that, but we're going to get into the roles that they play in exchanging nutrients and also becoming biocontrollers for plant pathogens. So in certain cases, we're introducing beneficial, you know, bacteria and fungi to, in a sense, overwhelm plant pathogens. And keep them from being susceptible to certain issues. So first, we're going to go over the HGX Pro Bio 800 turf, plant growth promoting bacteria. So what we have in that in our formulation is, and what we're going to talk about, we have the genus and then we have the species. So for example, on our label, we have Levulactobacillus brevis. I'm just going to refer to it as L. brevis. It's easier for me. So the genus, if we break that down, is going to be Levulactobacillus. And then the species is going to be brevis. Now, within that species, or that family, there's 20 plus species. So our label can't always include everything that's in there, but we're going to name and list the top ones that are on there. And basically the colony forming units of those the ingredients. The bacteria is going to be the typical characteristic. They're rod shaped. They promote immune function to the plant and to other microbes in the soil. Everything, again, going back to that soil food web, has a role. They will kill some soil-borne pathogens. Each species, or I'm sorry, genus of in the bacteria family, it's the same, but they all have different roles. So that's the importance of having a very diverse product like HGX Pro Bio 800 turf. We're not just going after one function of that bacteria. We're trying to incorporate and group together. We're trying to cast a bigger net, if you will, over many issues that could be happening in the soil. So other products will be more targeted, specific to certain issues, which means you have to go out, you have to, do samples, soil tests, biology breakdowns. We're basically going out with the bio turf, and we're saying, hey, we're going to cover all of our bases and let natural selection sort the rest out. If we get overpopulated in something, it becomes survival of the fittest. So basically, the weak are going to die and become food sources for the stronger ones. And they will help break down organic matter. So this is just one genus that's in the Bio 800 turf on the bacteria side. So the Trichoderma spp, what that's going to do, that's a fungi. It's going to help colonize plant roots. We'll kind of get into that a little bit later. It solubilizes phosphorus, and it will help with the uptake of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So here's the label. Everyone is always asking about, the product in questions, and I'm trying not to be condescending, but everything's on this label minus the ingredients, everything we need to know. And when I was doing this, I never really paid attention to it. When I was going out doing applications and running lawn care and stuff, I never looked at the labels, and it's kind of like, wow. So the HGX Pro, we'll start on the left-hand side. You're going to see the species. You're going to see the main formulation. We include molasses in our product, so that's going to be a simple food source for the biology. It's going to sustain them not only in their dormant state, but it's also going to help feed them when they get into the soil. It's going to have amino acids, humic acids, kelp, fulvic acid. So we can't fit a whole lot of the beneficial, like the kelp and the fulvics and humics, because we have so much bacteria there. There's only so much we can fit in the gym. This is a refrigerated product. It doesn't mean it has to be, that it's ice cream and it's going to melt. It just means best practices to keep it refrigerated. We've incorporated technology into this product that can afford you time to have it out in certain conditions, and I'll go over that, unrefrigerated. That condition being, keep it out of direct sunlight. As long as it's out of direct sunlight, we're good to go for 3 weeks. So we don't have to race around and shipping and real big misconception, and that was not communicated properly from my side. So we're trying to get that communication reestablished. Application types. We have a hose end sprayer. That's, that can be for the landscaper homeowner. Basically fill and spray at the highest setting. Use every 4 to 8 weeks during the growing season. Longer growing season, you're probably going to be at the tail end of that. Shorter growing season at the front end, it's 4 weeks. Backpack sprayer. I was just talking to a customer this week. What you want to do, best practice in my opinion, is remove those inline screens out of the wand. And if there's one inside the tank, remove that. Open the nozzle up to the biggest fan spreading and spray. Otherwise, you're only going to get about a third to, a quarter to a third gallons per minute out of that sprayer. So we want to open that up and get the water flowing through to about a gallon per minute. So a 4-gallon backpack sprayer should get you around 4,000 square feet ish. It's not an exact science with those. And then your 100-gallon sprayer, 7 ounces per 1,000 square feet. And, usually if you have a 100-gallon sprayer, I hope and pray that you're maintaining it and calibrating it on a regular basis. When I was managing a company, we were calibrating. A lot of guys choose to do it once a round. I think it's better to do it in between rounds just to make sure that we're not overdoing product and not undershooting product as well. The ideal water volume when you're spraying is 1 to 3 gallons. I have some customers that go under, and that's fine, but adjustments have to be made. But recommended from our end is 1 to 3 gallons. The hotter you get and the more nitrogen and herbicides that you're putting in, you want to go to the higher end, depending on your region. And then I'm going to get going off of this label and get into the next one, HGX Pro Bio 800 Golf. It's basically, in a sense, the same formulation, and you can compare and contrast the labels and see the differences that were shown on the labels. It's a higher bacteria concentration level. It's going to be more active with some strains of fungi that are going to attack that thatch layer. It's going to decrease recovery time, increases playability. So just because it says golf doesn't mean it's for just golf courses. I have any high traffic areas, anything that, warrants, heavy equipment going across it, cars and cemeteries, sports turf parks, other type venues, concerts. This is the product that I would recommend. It's priced a little bit higher, so it's not geared towards the residential, because residential's not getting as much of that foot traffic and doesn't need that quicker recovery time, healing in time. Here's the label on that. Again, if you want to pull this up, it's on our website. We have all these labels on our website. Hopefully you're buying the product and you can look at the label that way. And if you have any questions on any of this, essentially the same rate as the turf product, just like I said, a higher concentration. So it's a little bit more expensive. Sometimes doesn't fit into an LCO type plan. But if you need that recovery, if you're on a commercial or something like that, then that's the way to go. So HGX Pro Bio 800 Tree and Shrub. It's basically the pack full of endo and ectomycorrhizae. So what is mycorrhizae? The endomycorrhizae, endo meaning inside, it's going to penetrate the root cells. It's going to get inside there. It's going to open up that plant. It's going to help the root system develop from internally. It's going to exchange water and phosphorus for sugar. So it's during that process, during the photosynthesization, excuse me, I can't talk today. What's going to happen is that process happens and it releases sugars and gives that plant, basically energy to grow. So it's helping give that plant energy. So the ecto, I always tell people, hey, think of the ectoplasma, Ghostbusters, guy. It's on the outside. It's, being slimed, right? So these are not going to penetrate the root system. They're going to form a mantle and wrap around the plant root. They're going to develop on the outside, and they're going to help exchange nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur for photosynthesized sugars. So the endo is going on the inside and the ecto is going on the outside. Now, why is this important to us? Why are we going over all this? It's because all of this plays a role in reducing your synthetic materials going in. We're basically building from the soil up. We're building that solid foundation, and these are just very, very like small percentage, minute, parts to all the tools, everything that's happening in the soil and in the HGX Pro products. So again, if you look at this label, this is going to be, the tree and shrub is going to be more fungally based. It's going to have bacteria, but more complex woody type plants are going to need more fungi. So the formulation of this product is completely different than the bacterially based, lawn and tree. They're designed and specified to target specific plants. So we need to make sure we're using the right product. I do have some crossover with guys using lawn product and doing tree because they don't want to switch tanks. We have solutions for that. If that's an issue with you, if you're an LCO and you need help with that, I would be more than happy to kind of guide you through that. Down here at the bottom, I want to focus on the CFUs. Everyone sees the CFUs, and what is that? Cubic feet, units, or it says right down here at the bottom, it's colony forming unit. So it's basically you can see the percentages, and that is per gram. You'll see the differences between the tree and shrub, between all of these products. Everything's going to change, some dramatically, some slightly, some have, remain consistent. Best storage, best application methods, maintenance type sprayers. We want to do 2.25 gallons per 200 gallons of water, spray until you get good runoff around the trunk. Typically, if you're doing like a deep root feeding, I always recommend going about halfway from the trunk to the outer canopy. Going at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock positions. And you do 1 gallon of mixed product, not 1 gallon of Holganix, 1 gallon of mixed product of that 200-gallon solution per 1 inch of DBH. So DBH is diameter at breast height. So when you walk up to the tree, wherever it's, close to your head or close to your chest, and it doesn't have to be an exact science. I mean, you can kind of gauge it. I used to use my forearm. I knew the measurements on my, from my tip of my finger to my forearm. If I had any questions, that was an easy tool that I taught the guys. You can in new installs, you're just basically going to want to cut the gallons of water down in half. So instead of 2.25 on the maintenance per 200, you want to go 100 gallons of water, but same, still 2.25 gallons of HGX tree and shrub. Backpack sprayer, absolutely can do it. It's probably going to take a little bit longer. I would suggest doing, watering cans, buckets. I've even had guys use, big plastic trash cans. And you can do it out of the hose end sprayer. If you're doing it with any of that, try to spray. If you're spraying, I would spray towards, like I said, about halfway from the trunk to the outer canopy. We want to hit those sub feeders, and then try to get some around the base of the tree too, until you get some good runoff as well. The trunk, excuse me. Ideal is 1 to 3 gallons per 1,000. That really doesn't apply if you're using a sprayer. If you need help with this, call me. Compatible with other products. All of these products, this is another question that I get all the time. Are they compatible? Can I mix this, or tank mixable? Absolutely. The only thing that we want to avoid with any of these bio products is going to be fungicides. If you're using a fungicide, split the applications. Give it at least 1 week before you make your next round. Again, refrigerated up to 3 weeks. Yeah, I've seen it go longer. Keep it out of the sun. Let's see if I can get to the next one. So this is Bloom. Boosts color and size, annuals, perennials, flowering plants, reduces transplant shock, just helps it heal into that new home, new soil that it's going into. Again, we're throwing a very large net over this. We're not, just offering it certain aspects and crossing our fingers. This is a very diverse product that we're getting into the soil to make it feel like home. Special application combinations. We've come across dog spot, dead, patchy areas. This product used in conjunction, just as this is through our own research, in the field, used in conjunction with a low nitrogen organic fertilizer, such as our 243, helps give the grass a little bit of energy to get back going. It stops the issue that's going on, and a lot of times so it doesn't get worse, and then welcomes a better atmosphere for the grass to move back in. Increases yields on tomatoes, fruit-bearing plants, and gardens. If you have a garden, try it. That's what I tell everyone. Try it. I don't know how many times I've been taken out to lunch and dinner for sampling this product. And then it's a supercharged formulation. So I wanted to get into this real quick. So in our turf product, we have 3.5 colony forming units per gram versus the turf, or I'm sorry, on the turf, versus this product at 2.8 colony forming units per gram. And that's the L. brevis that we were talking about earlier in the presentation. So I just wanted to draw that comparison that every formulation is not the same. We're reducing certain levels in this so we can pack it in with more of things that are applicable to the plant material that we're treating. It's tank mixable. Keep it away from fungicides. I don't think anyone's putting fungicides on their gardens and plants and stuff. Here's the label. We're going to just briefly go over it. 7,000 per square feet. I know that's kind of hard to gauge when you're in a garden bed. I usually just say make best practice with soil microbes, get it into the soil, get it as close to the soil as you can. If you have some ground cover, I tell guys, try to lift it up. If you can't, just soak it real good, as you're going by. Again, ideal is 1 to 3. We want that, a decent flow rate. Lowest I would go is 1 unless you talk to me. Keep refrigerated. It's recommended 3 weeks. And compatibility. It's if you have any questions, fungicides, and there's a handful of like super high, herbicides that are out there, but I haven't seen anyone use those in years. So this is a non-refrigerated option. This is our HGX Pro PB1 LTO 1000. PB1 is probiotic, and then this formulation contains 4 species of bacteria. They're shelf stable, so refrigeration not necessary. They're basically, once they're deployed, they're going to become active, get down into the soil, and do their work. It includes 3 sources of nutrient enhancers. What that's going to do is help with the uptake process, the pumping process. It's going to open up that plant, make it more receptible to your micros, macros, just pretty much everything. Open it up, get it in there. It's not designed for an end source, but it is designed for opening that plant, making it more receptive. That's the main function of this. And then also adding 4 species of bacteria. And then it also has 3 microbe food sources in there. And we can see the poly-L aspartic acid. That's going to help open the plant up. It's the blackstrap molasses. Everything on here plays a role. Again, this is self-stable. It lists our soil microbes down here. Storage, I would, keep it at room temperature if you can. I wouldn't go, above, 90. Definitely out of direct sunlight. You keep anything at 90 degrees for 2 years, and it's probably going to go bad. This is a low application rate, 2 to 3 ounces per 1,000 square feet. If you're using this in conjunction with Bio, you can go on the lower end of that. But if you're not using it with the Bio 800 products, then I would stick to the higher end. There's no very low burn potential. And then we're going to use the soil drench and foliar apps for this. Label again is on the website, and this is tank mixable. So well, I just want to touch on this. I'm not going to go a whole lot into this. We have Bio 800 agriculture products. It's for the farmers. It's designed and geared towards specific crops and what they're doing. It's more. I'm the TNO guy, but I want to make sure if there's anyone on this call, reach out to me and I'll point you in the right direction for your ag rep, and we'll get you sorted out. We do have a bio breakdown that they're using. It does help with breaking down organic material. That could cross over into it is crossing over into the golf industry to reduce thatch layers. I can help you on that front. If you're looking for big ag, I can refer you. There's a label on that. I'll leave it up for a second so you guys can cruise back through this if you want to watch a recording or download it off our site. Basically, the breakdown is going to be supercharged with a bunch of fungi and a little bit of nitrogen to give that breakdown process some expediency. HGX Pro Granular Products. So can't spray, not for you. We have other options. So what we do with all of our granular fertilizers is we infuse it with Bio 800, meaning we're spraying the prill with the Bio 800 plus products. So what that's going to do is it's going to give you an added boost to the analysis, and it's also going to give you in the form of soil microbes. It also is going to what happens. I'll explain the process real quick. They'll actually live on the outside of the prill, and then they'll burrow down on the inside. And similar to the PB1, it's going to be a shelf stable option, non-refrigerated product. We're not getting nearly as many as the Bio 800. So this is not an apples and apples type microbial alternative. But you will get some aspect if liquid option is not available. And then it will include microbial food as well. Here's our three popular brands. We have the 243, 795, and the 1032. So we'll start with the 243. It's 100% organic, natural slow release. It's basically composted, aerated, chicken manure. Very low pungency on the product. Infused with the HGX Pro Bio 800. And it comes in SGN 180 or 220. And then this is an all-purpose. Most of these are I have guys using them for multiple applications. Turf, garden beds, roughs, fairways. It's going to help with color development, soil health, root development, plant strength. 795. This is an all-out general fertilizer. I mean, man, if you're looking for a starter fertilizer, if you're doing like overseeding, if you're doing sod rollouts, if you're doing, in the ground, type stuff, and you're buying it like, pallet or bag quantity level, then I would definitely go with 795. I've been here 9 years, and this is one of the two products, and I'll get to the next one, that are just phenomenal. With almost instantaneous, aesthetic results. Sometimes the bio takes a little bit longer to kick in. Everyone's looking like, hey, why don't I see anything from the bio? Well, you're not going to. The problem didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be solved overnight in most cases. The soil health didn't degrade overnight, and it's not going to rebuild overnight. It's a process. But this product is phenomenal. With new plantings, sod rollout, seeding. 1032, it's great for a open season turf application. I have guys using this as a general fertilizer. They don't want to, do multiple bags, so they want to be able to do their turf, their garden beds, and they just adjust accordingly. Very low burn potential on all three of these. You have to abuse it to get a burn. I mean, really abuse it. And I wish I could get into these labels, but again, they're on the website. I'm running thin on time, and we need to keep going. So the Holganix Plant Start 243. This is basically, it comes in a 1 gallon jug. It's very convenient. Instead of lugging around a 50-pound bag, this has so much, you can see on the label, I mean, so much endo and ectomycorrhizae packed in here. I mean, 10,000 spores, per gram of certain, genuses. Other, I mean, just packed full. I mean, there's products out there that you can't even buy all these types of mycorrhizae. I mean, we're packing this thing full to ensure, you know, uh, a guaranteed. I mean, this is like insurance for a job when you start a job. If you're going to a job, if I still was operating a lawn care install or landscaping install business, this would be my insurance policy. I'm so disappointed I didn't come across this product wasn't available when I was doing that, because I don't know how many callbacks I had. And that goes to say with all the bio products, always getting callbacks because I was just focused on, let's get some starter fertilizer, never focused on the root system, on the soil health, overall. 100% organic again, slow release. You're no root tip burning, nothing like that is going to happen, even if you do abuse it. So I don't recommend you do, because that is going to affect your wallet. Prebiotic fertilizers. So what are the prebiotics? They're highly focused nutrients, contain sources of microbe food, and include nutrient enhancers. So our 2-10-20 develop shooting roots. The polymers are going to exchange and help with the cellulose, which is the structure of the plant, which is going to give us a tough, thick-celled plant material, which is going to be naturally resistant to pests, naturally resistant to disease and traffic. It's going to bounce back a lot faster if you have something tougher, with muscle. And then starch is basically going to be stored and then converted into simple sugars to help give that plant energy. High NP&K sources. So this isn't like bathtub, garbage. So you have the capillary action that's going on. You have the pumping action that's going on. It's kind of like our systems. What are you going to feed your system? Are you going to feed it something, steak and potatoes and vegetables? Or are you going to feed it, Burger King every night? Same idea. I mean, the Burger King's not going to go through our system. So if you feed it a low end P&K source, it's going to take longer. It's going to struggle. It's going to stress it out. It's just not good. So nutrient uptake enhancers, it's going to help the plant operate more smoothly, more receptible to uptake to nutrients, to conversion. And then low label rate, similar to the PB1. But again, if you're going to use this as a standalone, go with the high label rate, which is 3 ounces. I think it's, where does it say here? Yeah, 3 ounces. Apply 1 ounce on the low label. So if you're using it in conjunction with the HGX Pro products, use the low label. Without, use the high label. But yeah, tank mixable with products. Prebiotic 3000, very good for coming out of dormancy. Very good as a winterizer, storing up nitrogen. Very good throughout the entire season, actually. It's a 60% slow, 40% available. Most people are probably familiar with this. If you're not, or if you have questions about timing, applications, best times, practices, give me a call. I'll help you out with that. Blue Sky. This is the other product that I was referring to that never had a complaint about. The 2100, it contains the microbe food. So this is a very comprehensive program that we can set up, with the bio products and then also with the prebiotics. So the prebiotics have the food sources for the microbes. All of our, most, I should say, of our fertilizer, blends have microbe food. So we're going to sustain, even though the HGX Pro products the bio products have food sources in there, we're going to make these guys like super fat and happy during their life cycle. So that's all we're doing. We're going to get them as active and as hungry and as well fed as possible so they can do their work and keep going and utilize everything that's in here. This is trimethylated urea. meaning basically when one chain breaks down, the other one becomes active. So it's going to feed for a little bit longer as opposed to your 3000. 2100, I think usually I see about a week and a half to 2 weeks longer, depending on, environmental conditions, rain, different factors. Very low burn potential if you're misusing it, and using the correct rates. So we have a ton of resources. We've come to the end. I appreciate your guys' patience. We have a ton of resources, ingredients lists, soil smart programs, ebooks, over 70, I think it's even more than that, probably over 200 case studies, university resources. And as always, I'm available here for you if you guys need anything. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. Email typically can be the best source of contact as spring approaches. You're always free to call me. If I miss your call, leave me a message, shoot me a text. It's entirely up to you. I think we're going to go ahead and bypass the questions, and I will get to them. I apologize. Again, the timing on this, I still need to work out a few kinks. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate the showing up and being willing to become a part of the Holganix family. Look forward to helping you. And any questions that I did miss, I promise you I will respond back to them via email. Thank you so much.